How did he hide his double life from Belichick and his teammates and Robert Kraft?
You know, he had very different worlds if you look at it. His friends he was hanging out with at times, they weren't Patriots. He didn't hang out a lot with the Patriots. That's in there. He wasn't connecting with the guys on the team, which was a side of concern. So he would be out with a friend of his, mainly this guy Alexander Bradley, who was a drug and gun dealer out of Connecticut, and they just had different worlds. So nobody knew what he was doing. He had a million different kind of hidden lives to himself. He wrestled with sexuality and tried to hide that throughout high school and college. If you listen to we have a lot of the jailhouse phone calls in it, and if you listen throughout the three parts of the series, you'll hear him talking in incredibly different ways to all different types of people. He can be as kind and as sweet to his daughter or his cousin or something like that. He can be totally different with somebody else, and so you just see how this guy was really a chameleon. But what he was doing at night, people didn't know. So you literally had in 2012, you had him at the very least involved in a double homicide in Boston, a shooting where they drive-by shooting, and then he ends up stashing the car in his cousin's garage. He's either the trigger man or he's in the car with Alexander Bradley. About a few weeks later, he signs a $40 million extension with the Patriots and then plays an entire season in the NFL as essentially an accused double murderer. So you just have never seen anything like this in football, where a guy has got that kind of a secret life going on. It's truly football player by day at times and gangster at night. But there were so many elements to his story that were hidden from the people who knew him the best, whether it was his wife or his attorney, or the way everyone who knew him best was shocked when he committed suicide. He had a way of compartmentalizing and hiding things from people.
How much cooperation did you get from the Patriots?
Not much. We have a lot of NFL footage in there. We have some former Patriots and things like that. But, you weren't going to have Bill Belichick sit down for an extensive interview on this, which is understandable.
Did Aaron Hernandez almost get away with this?
No, he probably could have gotten away with the first one. His real problem was he got into a rivalry with his friend Alexander Bradley, who blamed him or testified at one point, but at the very least blamed him for shooting him in the face in a separate incident down in Florida. There's a lot to this thing. It's hard to put it in, but
he was in college at that time, wasn't he, Dan?
He was this was after college.
Okay.
He and Bradley became friends after college.
Okay.
But Bradley says Hernandez shot him in the eye. Thought Bradley was dead. Bradley survived. Bradley basically says, I'm going to kill you. It's revenge. He refuses to cooperate with the police. Aaron loads up, buys an armored car. He starts hanging out with a couple guys as kind of bodyguards. He's got a lot of weapons. At that point, it was a matter of time what was going to happen. He ended up killing Odin Lloyd and getting caught for that. Could he have gotten away extensively for the double homicide, being involved in that? It's hard to say. He still had the car kind of sitting in a garage hidden in Connecticut, so maybe. But I think Aaron was, he only played 3 years in the NFL. He was only 23 when he was arrested. To think he would have gotten away with it for much longer. He lived a life that was doomed to pretty much end up in some failure at some point, or some kind of arrest or the murder of himself. He was completely on the edge. He lived a completely outside the bounds of normal society life while he was playing professional football.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.